I'm up here to talk about how Chris's wife, Samantha, has led me to God. But before I even get into my own spiel, I want to personally thank Kelly, Amanda, and Gavin, and John Moran, and Chris Martin, and everybody, all the adults who have helped us lead this, because Ryan and I would never be able to do this without them, or ever. Definitely, okay. Ooh. So everybody knows, if you know Chris well enough, you know that he's easier to talk to if you're a guy than if you're a girl. Because whenever I was like 8 and, kind of almost to the point where I could be almost into youth, Chris was probably the scariest person that I'd ever met in my entire life. Most likely. I was completely freaked out by him. And so the closer I would get, I was like, oh, dang, this kid, I can't take it. Like, he's so scary. He never talks to girls. He talks to the boys. And then he's just got the girl use over there, and I just can't do it. And then Samantha came along, and we all kind of looked at her weird because she was Chris's girlfriend. And when did Manzo have a girlfriend? Like, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing. So that was crazy. And then I kind of sort of met her a couple of times and never really talked. And then somehow she got my number for babysitting. And that started 6 years of having to watch these 2 children, plus the third that came along later. And so I met her through the babysitting part, and it was more of a boss to babysitter relationship that Samantha and I had. And that was for the first couple of months. But the more and more that she had to pick me up from my house and drive me 30 minutes to her house to babysit her kids and then drive me 30 minutes back, we had a lot of conversations in the car, from grades to random things to Chris. Everything back and forth you could talk about in that car, especially her wonderful, rambunctious children. And the more I got to talk to her, the more I realized that her and I are just a very, very similar in personality. We love to talk, which didn't always work out at the same time because we try to talk over each other. And we love to help people and be out there. Her being a NICU nurse, I just try and help people. I don't know if I can do it as well as she does. But we just had so much in common and so much to talk about that I just really got close to her as a friend. And she brought me into the youth group because, like I said, I was kind of scared of Manzo. And so I would come to a couple things and then leave and then not really want to be there. But the more I became friends with Samantha, the more she brought me into it. And I could not thank her more than 1,000,000 times for that, because this youth group is a family. It is my family. It is everybody's family. It is the only thing that's keeping us going through this hard time. Because if I would have just known him from afar in the church and known that he had cancer, I don't think I would ever have this close of a group of people to be with and support me through this time and support each other and to do these kind of things like worships for him and everything that we've done for him. It's just amazing. And it's more, I'm not saying that it's not because of Manzo that I'm here, but it's because he brought Samantha into my life. And whenever they got engaged, she asked me to be a bridesmaid, which was just the coolest thing in the entire world because you get to wear a dress and everything. And so their wedding was just amazing. And through that, I became closer with Chris because once they had Cannon, he asked me about 8 times if I knew how to hold a child. And then about 8 more times after he had left, he texted me, "Is Cannon okay?" "Yes, Chris, he's still alive. Do not worry." He's so protective of that baby that it makes me so happy. But he's definitely brought somebody great into my life, and she's done so many great things for me, from just being there for me to text, to taking me out for a pedicure, or being able to give me a part-time job that's supported my Chick-fil-A fund. And she's just one of the greatest people in the world, and it's so hard to watch her go through something like this, because it's somebody that you looked up to because they were so strong through everything, and then you sit next to them in a worship service while they're bawling their eyes out. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do when you're 16 and they're 28 and there's nothing, you feel like you can't do anything for them. And so by picking up Connor and Wesley on Sundays and taking them out to eat on a Monday night, I feel like I'm doing something for her just to repay her smallly for everything she's done for me. So I definitely thank Chris for bringing Samantha into my life.